coming at you with my second ever YouTube live. My first one was a mess, but let's see if we can do a little better this time. I did a notebook the first time, which was fine. It was just dorky. I just wanted to get it over with. So anyway, this time we're just going to do the front of the book. I've already painted it with Daydream Apothecary's Comfort Zone, which is just a kind of a country white, an off-white, if you will. And we're going to decoupage it first. So I'm going to take my water pen and just go around it because I don't like a straight edge, because it's much easier to blend it or do whatever we want to do with it if we're not fighting that straight edge. So just squeezing out a little water around here. And you can also just use a paintbrush and dip it in water. Oh shoot, am I out of water?
Here, do you want this?
I might be close to out of water here. Courtney's throwing things at me here. Okay, let's try to rip this off. I'm gonna be careful and try to not get too close to him there. And I did not tell anybody that I'd be going live today, so still trying to get the hang of this YouTube live. It's a totally different platform for me. I have lots of videos that are already, pre-recorded, so live is a whole different animal for me on here. Okay, I am dry ripping it here. I don't like that near as much, so I'm gonna wet a paintbrush down because I did run out of water in my brush, and I don't want you to watch me spilling water everywhere trying to get it in that little pen, because I don't have running water out here. So this might just be like pre-recorded if nobody pops on. And I don't know if I can even see comments on my iPad, so like I said, just tearing the edges all the way around for starters here. And I hate to say it, but this is probably going to be a pretty boring video. There's going to be drying times, but it will really give you the idea. It'll, show you exactly how long it takes.
For some reason it says chat is disabled. I don't know how to fix it.
Oh, it says chat is disabled. I don't know what that means or how to fix it. Highlight saved to your channel is unlisted video up to 5 minutes of your stream. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of these things mean.
You have to click in the beginning.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's no fun.
I was just letting you know, so you...
Courtney says somehow our chat is disabled. I don't know, Courtney, if you want to look at the phone for me. I'm sure she doesn't want to, because that means she'll be on the screen, but I don't want chat disabled. That's why I'm live, so I can talk to you guys. Daggone it. Because, in case you don't know, I did get hacked on my Facebook page, so I can't go live on there when you have a brand new page you have to have 100 followers, which isn't the problem, but you also have to have the page for 60 days. So I miss my people. I miss talking to them. I miss being live and having the interaction. So I would really like to get my YouTube lives going and maybe not even do too many lives over on the Facebook anymore. Okay, so this is rice paper. Just putting that on there. I got a cute little Santa. And when we do Fineline Crackle, we want to keep in mind that we want the background to be light color. If we do something dark, it's not, the Fineline crackle is not going to show up. Unless you would go in with, you know, something white to accentuate the cracks later, like a white wax or maybe silver, which I've never really found that. I've never really liked that look much. So this is how I do it anyway. Okay, I've got just a little hanging off the side. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and seal it with, and I'm using decoupage varnish and glue by Pentart for my decoupage medium. I'm just gonna go ahead and seal it. I've got little things on my screen now because I was pressing some buttons earlier. No filter. Yeah, I don't want a filter. I mean, I could use a filter. I'm not kidding, but okay, I took that off, whatever it was. Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. Yeah, I don't know. Doggone it. I bet. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really wanted to be able to chat with you guys. And here I done and messed up already. I'll get the hang of it eventually. I didn't see anything like that on there, so about turning off chat or something, so I'll have to be on the lookout for that next time. So I'll just sit here and talk to myself again. That's all I seem to be able to do lately. Anyway, let's not be a Debbie Downer. I feel like that's all I've done lately too. Okay, we've got him good and sealed. Now I gotta dry it. There's gonna be a lot of drying times, for which I apologize. So if you're catching the replay, definitely don't feel bad about fast forwarding. Turn it around so you guys can see it right now. And did you know that if you turn your phone upside down, it's like you're looking over my shoulder? Oops. I've never done it, but I've heard that works. Don't get your heat gun so close that you bubble up your stuff. I do it all the time. Isn't this Santa cute? And this actually, I don't know if you saw that, there was a second half of this paper that had another Santa. He just had a little bit darker background. So you could do 2 books out of this. If you're joining late, this is a book. All we're focusing on today is the top. It's gonna be so cute. Okay. Courtney's been investigating. She's pretty sure that the chat is something I would have had to have set up in the beginning, which I can see that there's only 2 of you on here, but maybe you wanted to chat a lot, so I'm so sorry. Okay. That's dry enough. I'd like it to cool a little bit. Ideally, if you're doing this on your own, you know, you could just let it sit, go fold some laundry, start a new project, put a fan on this, let this cool off. Okay, what we're gonna do next is Fineline Crackle Varnish Component 1. That's what it looks like. When you're using this, you want a soft, dry, clean brush, no moisture in it, very soft, all those things I just said. Clean, dry, soft. Of course, mine's got some hairs going the wrong way, but we're gonna go with it. Okay. And we're just gonna put a coat on there. And this is pretty thick, so don't be alarmed. Thick and gloppy is what I call it. Covering the whole thing. So it goes on white like this, but it will dry clear. Okay. Just making sure I've got it on everywhere. I don't really want to overwork it too much. I feel like I already have, but I say that every time, but you know, do as I say, not as I do. Okay. Dump that in some water, put my lid on, and then is the next not so fun drying time. Again, they recommend letting it air dry, but you know, for the sake of video, we don't have that time. And you won't notice anything on this coat at all. Looks like I got it thin there. I hope that. It's probably gonna make our crackles a little thin there. But we'll see. Again, don't get your heat gun too close to it or you're gonna have it bubble up a little bit and not be so attractive in that area. Trust me, I know. Again, I can turn it around for a little bit. So I tried to choose a smallish project so it wouldn't take as long to dry, but it still takes a little bit. I got it. And I'm going to say this now, and I'll say it again later, but Fineline Crackle is the, oh shoot, there I'm bubbling it. See, I shouldn't try to do too many things at once, but Fineline Crackle is the only crackle that requires a solvent-based sealer that I know of. So it takes a solvent-based sealer. Any of the other crackles, you can use a water-based sealer, but this one you must use a solvent-based sealer or it is going to continue the crackle process later and it's going to crackle right off. So I will say it again later, but just, it is very important. The first time I ever did it, it did happen to me. I hadn't, you know, I tend to jump into things without knowing everything yet because I get excited and I don't like to read directions and I was just messing, you know, just playing. It was no big deal, thank goodness, but it did like flake up and peel up everywhere. Well, I hadn't sealed it at all, I don't think. I don't know if I used a water-based sealer or just didn't seal it at all. But anyway, it had curled up everywhere. So, yeah. Best to use the water-based or solvent-based sealer. And we have it in glossy and matte. I prefer the matte just because I'm not a big glossy kind of girl. And if you know, you can put on the solvent-based, and then if you have a water-based satin, per se, that you like better, you can put that on over top if you wanted to, but you must seal it first with a solvent-based. Okay, let's see how we're looking here. I think we're a little thick there. It's not going to dry real quick, and you really shouldn't touch it with your fingers. I have a hard time not doing that, but you know, if it's too wet, you're going to get fingerprints in it, and that's not going to be a good look. I was hoping my fan was real close and I would try to cool it off a little bit before we go on. There it is. I just don't want it being super hot before the next step. So I got the fan going there. And like I said, if you can let this sit on its own, cool on its own, dry on its own some, that's the way they like you to do it, but it'll be okay. Okay, we're gonna go on. The next step is Fineline Crackle Varnish Component 2. So that's what it looks like. Again, we need, I think that's the one I used for water. Soft, clean, dry brush. You can see this one looks a lot different. I'm going to stir it just a little bit. I don't know that it needs it, but you know, always better safe than sorry. Okay. Here we go. Same thing. And like I said, this one is not near as thick. We definitely want to get the whole thing covered though. And I tend to always, if I'm going to go thin or skip a spot, it's usually anywhere around an edge or the top or the bottom. So I kind of try to go around the edge and top and bottom first. That way I know I got them done. And then I'm going to fill in the center. And I'm not skimping. I would say I'm generous on this. Like I said, this one goes on so much easier. Like I said, I'm not leaving it standing here, but I definitely got it all covered. Make sure I don't have any running. Okay. Put it in water. Oh. And here we go drying again. Sorry, this stinks. But when this dries, we will have some crackles. At least we better. Or I didn't do it right. And I know I did it right. And again, ideally, they would like you to let this sit and dry, you know, at air temperature and all that. And then, you know, heat it up at the end with the heat gun. But, you know, for the sake of video, this is what we do. I don't know that I've ever not done this on video, so I don't think I have ever gotten to just let it air dry. And I've had a lot of people tell me theirs didn't crackle. So it's really hard to see. If you're older, such as myself, and need to wear cheaters or readers, you might need to put them on to see it, or you might need to dry it longer. I know I've had a retreat here before where I did it and my friend was like, it's not crackling, it's just not doing it, it's just not doing it. So I took his project and I just dried it longer. I'm like, oh, come here, look, it's starting to do it. So sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, and of course we were rushing it, you know. We didn't let it sit and do it on its own. So, you know, sometimes we get impatient. It can take a little bit. So I'm trying to see if I see any. I'm trying to keep it away far enough so that I am not bubbling it up and making any ugly spots on it. Although I want to hurry it up for the sake of time. You know, this is obviously one that would be better if I did a sped up video, but yet it's also, sped up videos also, I don't feel like I get to tell you every detail either. I feel like I'm way more thorough doing this. Not that everybody appreciates thoroughness either, but I don't really see a whole lot of crackle yet, but let me see here. Okay, yes, now I do. Now that I put my cheaters on, I can see it. So we'll keep going a little bit. And sometimes, depending on your vision, the next step might be what it takes for you to be able to see it. And sometimes you really got to look around and let the light hit it. Like I said, I can see it now. And sometimes I just wish I was there, you know, when I've gotten messages, like, oh, I wish I was there with them. You know, I wish I could really see it for myself and know if it's actually there or if it needs more drying time or if they did a misstep somewhere along the way. It's hard to tell, but I've done a lot of videos on this, so I know they've got the videos to watch, but I don't know if I've got videos of this on YouTube or not. I can't remember, so. And I think I'll do one on doing it over a transfer also, which really isn't much different at all. The only thing we need to put a water-based sealer before we start the process, honestly, is, you know, the only thing, which honestly I don't know why the decoupage medium wouldn't work, but we're gonna do it the way they say to. So we actually could just do that on the back of this book for a live. I won't do that today because this is already gonna go pretty long enough, probably. I don't know how long we're in. But I'm going to dry this in front of the fan, cool it off a little bit. Look at it again. Oh, heck, I think it's good enough. And then we're going to accentuate our cracks, make them show up with this antique paste in umber is my go-to. You can use waxes, mica powders. Oh, I'm sure there's all kinds of other things, but this is my go-to that I always like to use. And yeah, when I find something I like, I kind of stick to it. I think I've tried some gold, I've tried some coppers. You know, it just depends on what you're doing, but this is always, you know, I like grungy, I like brown, I like bronzy looking stuff, so. But I'm always, you know, the antique-y look is always my jam, so. Okay, yes, I can see that. Let's see if you guys can see that at all. I don't know if the light will hit it just right or not. On my phone, I can't see it, but usually on my iPad, I can. Okay. It hasn't shown up on my iPad yet. That's still a little bit warm, but we're gonna rock on. You can use a brush, you can use your finger. You know what? Well, if I had a glove here, I would actually probably put on a glove. But I don't see one handy. So I'm just gonna dip in there. And I usually do a section at a time. Just trying to shove it down in those cracks as much as I can. And then I usually, let me grab a shop towel. Shop towel, soft cloth, whatever you got. There, it's just finally showing up on my iPad. Wow, that is a heck of a delay. And then I just wipe off. You know, I'm not wanting to wipe it out of those cracks. I'm just wanting to wipe it off the top. So there you can see a comparison of how it's looking so far. It's like a porcelain crackle, the Fineline is. I wish you could talk to me. Had a little excess in there. Okay. And then I'm just gonna finish it up. Like I said, you can use a little brush, you can use your finger, whatever you like to do. I tend to like to get dirty, I guess, but I was gonna keep it profesh and put on a glove today, but I didn't see them handy and I didn't want to make you wait on me to find one. Like I said, I just try to do a section at a time because it can, oh, I do still have that fan on. Especially if you got a fan on you, it can start to dry and then you're gonna have a harder time getting this off. But you could also use a cleaning wipe if you got too much on. Oh, that's so cute. It looks so vintage now. I mean, he looked kind of vintagey anyway, but we might just do, we still got to seal this yet with our solvent-based sealer, like I went on and on about before, if you didn't hear that. The Fineline crackle is the only crackle that I know of at this point in time of Pentarts that requires a solvent-based sealer. And solvent-based sealers are stinky. You know it's a solvent-based sealer if it stinks, but it's pretty potent. You might want to have a fan on or window open or something like that. But if you use a water-based sealer on it, it is going to end up, it's going to keep cracking and it's going to crack and curl right off. So you definitely need to use a solvent-based sealer. Isn't he cute? Oh, that's cute. So we're going to go ahead and seal him and then maybe just add some wax around the outside and call him good. I'm going to use Clear Varnish Matte by Pentart. Same thing with the brush. Clean, dry, soft. All those good things. Otherwise, you know, if it's wet, if it's dirty, if it's not soft, you're going to have streakage and, you know, all these things we don't want. So we'll get it sealed so that our crackle stays on there. Same way as before for me, because like I say, all around the edges, I tend to get a little thin if I'm not paying attention. So I try to start there and make sure I got them covered. And then come back in the center, because that's where I tend to not forget or not get thin. But yeah, kind of smells like nail polish, or I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but I've gone nose blind to a lot of things, so I'm sure some people would be hollering at the smell, but okay, we just got to dry it, and then I think I'll put some Bronze Age around the outside, and you could leave it like that if you like it the way it is. I mean, I like it, but I usually like to put stuff around the outside edges for some reason. It's just my nature. But I think I said the solvent-based sealers we have in clear or matte. And I think I said it earlier that if you don't like this matte, you could always put on your water-based sealer over the solvent-based sealer. You know, once you've got the solvent-based sealer on, it's done its job. It's going to save it from peeling up later. Same thing. You know, we also have glossy. If you put glossy on and didn't like that look, but you have a water-based sealer that you really do like, you can put that on top of there too. But like I said, you've got to put a solvent-based sealer on this Fineline crackle to keep it from crackling on, if that makes sense. Okay. And again, keep it at a distance so you don't get the little bubbles in it like I tend to do when I get my heat gun too close to it. Let me look for my wax here real quick. If I can keep the gun moving while I'm looking. There we go. Okay, I think that's good enough for what I need to do yet. So we are just about done. I'm just gonna put some wax around the edges. Actually, you could put umber paste on there too, but I know this is the look I want. So this is Bronze Age wax. Just gonna put a little bit around the edges. That's hot. And you could put gold if you like gold more. I'm just kind of a bronze gal. Like I said, we've still got the whole spine to do. We've got the back to do. So let me know what other videos you would like to see me do. Like I said, I've got other, videos that are sped up, so you don't have to listen to me yapping the whole time. But if there's something you want to see me do live, let me know, or sped up for that matter. Oh yeah, this just brings it home for me. But we've got the spine to do on this, and I'm thinking we could do the back with maybe some transfers if I have some transfers that make sense with it. Otherwise, we'll have to do something else. But I know I have some Christmas transfers, but I don't know if they jive with the front here. And wax is always last, usually, typically. This is so we don't have to seal this again after the wax. So I think we're done. We could put snow paste on there or something like that if we wanted to, but I don't think I will. I think I like it like this. So yeah, I think our front is done for me as far as I'm concerned. I'm happy with that. Let's try and get that off of me before I pick up the book and try to show it to you. So I would probably just display him on an easel on my shelf. So like I said, we've got the spine to do, we got the back to do. I will probably paint the pages with some white and then come back in with either that wax or the umber paste, probably the wax actually. So yeah, we got some more to do to it. So like I said, I would love for you guys to comment on anything you would like me to do. Ooh, crackle paste would be fun to do also. It's got some drying time too, but not near as much as this. So anyway, let me know if you like it. I hope you liked it. And I promise next time I'll have the chat figured out. So bye for now. Ooh, but I gotta figure out how to end this now. I don't know how to end this. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay. Okay. Bye.